What kind of advice would you give to someone perhaps wanting to get into the commercial real estate space, on this, getting started on their journey? Where would you tell them to begin?
Definitely be a slave, be an assistant, work under somebody. I feel like real estate is always misconstrued and everybody tries to make it very glamorous. And I see so many people get their real estate license and then out of nowhere, they're just posting on social media, oh, hire me. Like, let me help you with all your real estate needs. And that drives me crazy because you're
Hello, Empower Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Empower Her Money podcast. I am your host, Angela Duncan, and today I've got a great treat for everyone who is listening. We've got Karley. She is a professional global real estate agent here in South Florida, serving our amazing community. Welcome, Karley. How are you?
good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, awesome. So tell us a little bit about your journey and your story, kind of how you got started to where you are at today.
So I actually did not even think that I was going to do real estate in the first place. It just kind of was a fluke. I was in technology before. I had built an app and I was just like behind a computer screen. But what I always knew was pitching to investors, pitching to other business owners, and just sales, because sales is the same across every single industry. Like, it doesn't matter what space you're in, like, sales are sales. And my app went very downhill. I was involved in a couple of lawsuits. My code got stolen and I had nothing else to do. And I was like, oh my God, I need to make money. And all I knew was that I knew a lot of business owners and I knew a lot of investors. So I was like, let me just get my real estate license and figure it out. But I knew nothing about real estate. So I worked under somebody for about like a year and a half. And then I just started posting like very aggressively on social media about real estate. And I was just always talking about real estate with everybody. So naturally, like, you can ask anybody who knows me, they know that I do real estate. So it was really important for me to like always be talking about what I was doing. And I started getting like a client after another one. People would ask me for advice. And then like I just started getting clients, and that's how I ended up in the commercial real estate space.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, I'm a real estate investor, mostly passively as a limited partner in a lot of syndications.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about, because what I've noticed, it tends to be even today, a very male dominated industry. So being a female, paving the way and being successful as a commercial real estate agent, talk a little bit about that.
So, I mean, I think it just lives in your mind, but also I've always been a person that, like, if you zig, I zag. And I don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing because spaces are competitive. I mean, like, your real estate is a very competitive industry. And I never really liked the residential component of it. It was just too emotional, too indecisive. Like, I'm a businesswoman, like, I talk numbers to me and talk data and analytics. It's like, yes, no, and we call it a day. So I feel like naturally it just kind of fit best with my personality. But also, I use being a woman, being young to my competitive advantage because, like, if you're putting me in a room with a ton of other commercial brokers, I'm going to stand out a lot more than all the other ones are going to. So
Definitely.
I use it as like my superpower almost, because it's, people just kind of tell me like, oh yeah, but like she does commercials. So definitely it makes me stand out more, and you have to use with what works. So it's not about navigating the hard. It's just about like, how do you navigate it so you make it look easy.
Yeah, I love that. It
Mhm.
definitely, like, you're standing out in the room because they're curious. You're not one of all the males in the room, but they're like, hey, I wonder what she's doing. What is she up to? So I love that.
Exactly.
I love
Mhm.
that. So I had an opportunity to see you on a panel and you were talking about crypto in the real estate space. I'm still very foreign, I think, when it comes to crypto and understanding blockchain. Kind of talk to us a little bit about that and how we can incorporate that in our real estate investing.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, like, crypto is still a currency. And it's just a matter of like keeping up with the economy and knowing what's going on in the same way that we look at interest rates and we look at like how the economy is turning, how we follow the stock market. Crypto is a huge category that we can't just eliminate. I know that a lot of people still don't understand the space, like it's not really regulated. So it becomes to some degree that you're not really sure if it's trustworthy, is probably the best word to use here. But at the end of the day, you don't want to eliminate a pool of buyers or sellers because you don't have knowledge in the space. So if somebody presents an offer with crypto or wanting to pay with like an electronic method of some sort, you have to do your job and know how to understand it or partner up with people who understand the space, because you could potentially turn down a lot of business by not knowing. So I just kind of look at the whole blockchain category because there's metaverse, there's crypto, there's NFTs, and there's a lot of real estate that's done within the blockchain. And I feel like just the more you know and the more that you're expanded within the different sectors, the more successful you'll be.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that you could purchase real estate with, say, any type of crypto or Bitcoin until seeing you on
Mhm.
the panel. I didn't know that we had it here in Florida. I didn't know that there's title companies that accept it. So you definitely expanded my
Yeah.
mind on that, which brings interest, right? So that you did exactly what you were doing for that panel. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. What kind of advice would you give to someone perhaps wanting to get into the commercial real estate space? On this, getting started on their journey, where would you tell them to begin?
Definitely be a slave, be an assistant, work under somebody. I feel like real estate is always misconstrued and everybody tries to make it very glamorous. And I see so many people get their real estate license and then out of nowhere, they're just posting on social media, oh, hire me, like, let me help you with all your real estate needs. And that drives me crazy because you're managing people's money. Like real estate is the biggest asset that a person could own and that could buy. And like definitely I did not feel comfortable in my space till after maybe 3 years that I was into it. By year 3, I was there like, okay, you know what? I got this. It's the same exact thing like doctors going to medical school. Like just because they were able to read a textbook as to how to perform a surgery, but if they've never done the actual surgery on like a little, like on a toy or on a piece of fruit, then you're not going to feel comfortable trusting that person. So I definitely look at the commercial real estate space, or just like any industry the same way, is that you have to pay your dues and you have to start at the bottom. And there's nothing wrong with starting from the bottom. And the reason why I was able to grow my sales so quickly from one year to the next is because I took the time to really educate myself, to learn the industry. Then that way people trusted me because I didn't have those mess ups so common in the beginning, because I took a lot of time to learn, to work with others, and to work for somebody else as well. So
Awesome.
definitely start at the bottom. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the bottom.
Yeah, I love that. And, find a good coach, good mentor, and learn from them. Because
Mhm.
I agree, you're purchasing real estate and it's not like purchasing a car or a t-shirt. You're investing a lot of money and you want to make sure you have a professional on the other side.
Exactly, because
That,
lawsuits are very real, especially when you're working with businesses. Like sometimes different companies call me that they're relocating and they ask me, where should we be? And I have to be the one that tells them, okay, like let's talk about pricing, let's talk about the areas, the demographics, like what's the salary of your employees and of your staff, and the different areas. And then if something happens with the company, you want to make sure that they're financially strong, that there's a lot of legalities into it that you have to be aware of.
yeah, awesome, awesome. All right, so I have a fun question for you. You kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but if you could have a superpower or super talent, what would that be and why?
So definitely I would love to fly. I think like that would just be so fun. And also for multiple purposes. One, because the traffic in Miami is horrific. And I feel like if I can just like fly across traffic,
Yes,
I would be
yes.
saving a lot of time. but also I want to be able to look at everything from a bird's eye view because
Ah,
Google is cool, drones are cool, but I'm literally selling the city. And if I can just be kind of elevated, I'm like, ooh, like what's that piece of land or what's coming over here? Let me see how many blocks away this is from there. So definitely like I would love to just like flap my wings and go up. It's silly,
yeah.
but
No, I love that. A bird's eye view of the city that you are selling. That right there is
exactly.
incredible. Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome. All right, Karley, if we have someone in our audience that wants to get in touch with you, either to become a commercial real estate agent or to learn more about what you're doing and how you can help your clients, how do they reach you?
So the best way for me is always social media. I always answer all the messages as quickly as possible. My phone number, my email, pretty much all my information is public. So you just look up my name and you can find me in one outlet or another.
Yeah, awesome. That's how I was able to reach out to you. So thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
I really appreciate you on the show today. Commercial real estate is a passion for me too. I love hearing about the crypto space. I encourage your and support you in your journey. And so I'm grateful to have you on the show today.
Likewise, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to doing more business together. Let's see if we close something.
sounds good. Awesome, awesome. That was another episode of Empower Her Money. I am your host, Angela Duncan. Hopefully you wrote down that great information that you heard today and reach out to Karley if you're an investor. I'm sure she's got some great projects that you can invest in as well. Until next time, Angela Duncan signing off on Empower Her Money. Are you a business owner looking to increase your profit? Imagine transforming every podcast guest appearance to profit. It's your turn to shine as a podcast guest. I have created a course just for you. It's the secret to profiting from podcasting and being a guest. Go to podcastmoneymagnet.com today and check out this incredible course that's going to teach you how to grow your brand and grow your bank account. Feel the shift as you master being a podcast guest. Podcastmoneymagnet.com today.